Morning folks, welcome back to the channel. If this is your first watch, welcome. Today what we're going to be doing is we are going to attempt to make a forge, a charcoal forge in the dirt here as part of my ongoing project. If you're one of my subscribers, you'll know that this is an ongoing project, repairing my 5-prong cultivator for my Pasquali tractor. So one of the things we need to do is harden some bolts, and in today's video all we're going to do basically is prep the forge and have a crack and see if it's actually going to work. Another video will do the actual repairing of this. So with all that said, I've got some charcoal, I've got some fire bricks, and I've got a big galvanized tube here, and I've also got a hairdryer, my wife's hairdryer, will not tell her. And we're going to bury this in the soil, dig out a hole, line it with bricks, set the fire, chuck some steel in there, get it up to temp, and then see if we can harden it in some oil. And yeah, don't know. It's all a bit of an experiment, so we'll see how we get on. First things first, I've got my digging hole, so we're going to get to dig in a bit of a hole and a bit of a trench. Let's get to it. I think we'll go 4 bricks wide. That's probably going to be long enough and definitely wide enough as well. We'll get the steel in the middle, plenty of coals around it. The dogs have started digging me a little trench here, so we're going to just carry that on. I want this pipe to be in the middle of the 4 bricks, so about there, and we'll just clear a path so we can bury it. That's as far as it needs to go. Thankfully the soil I just rotavated a few days ago, so we're pretty much good to go. That's going to go like that. That's pretty good. Need to make it a little bit wider. That's wide enough. Try and square it off now. Needs to go much deeper. Thinking is they need to go like that. And we've got 2, got the pipe there. And we're going to have 2 this side, so we'll bring in a bit of earth. I want to block the pipe. That'll do. This should have enough air to come out here into the main sort of area. But what I want to be able to do is put a roof on it. So if we put them like that, and then we can put a bit of a roof on it just to keep some of that residual heating like that. What I do is just put an end on there first. Oh, but we can't, of course, because yeah, we can. Right, sound. We'll just move these out as far as we dare, and then backfill just to keep them in place. And then I can put a roof on it like that now. The air should come up through the pipe. Can maybe put an end piece on there as well. Put a roof on it. There we go. Wow. That's pretty sweet. Plenty of airflow. Should get nice and hot in there now. While I've got that, I'm just going to bury it, at least down the sides anyway. That's pretty good. 1 brick left. Let's clear this bit off here so it can go in the fire. So there we have essentially the forge. Hopefully we'll fill that full of charcoal, it'll get roasting hot, put the lid on to keep the heat in, and then yeah, hopefully it'll get hot enough to harden some steel. Let's think about the hairdryer now. Right, so this is the hairdryer, and basically we need to fit it on there somehow, and then just let it rip. I'm hoping this pipe doesn't get too hot, but I don't think it will. It's quite long, and I think I'll just tape it on there, or maybe use some aluminium foil. But obviously for now I need to sort of create a bit of a platform for it, so we'll just fill it all in for now. Just so I've got somewhere to maybe rest it. I wonder if I can twist that. I can. What I might do, just to make my life a bit easier, just twist that down, and then I can tape it like that, and then build a little ramp like that, and the other side as well, underneath the handle. Okay, that's almost perfect. You can just sit like that, sucking in air from the back, blowing it down the pipe, forcing it over to the forge. I'll get some aluminium foil and wrap that up. I've got some aluminium foil, so we're going to have an attempt at sealing this. What I think we'll do is we'll spin it up, put it on the back, crank it down like that, and then just rest it, and just pack it in. That's pretty good. The bars line up really well, so it doesn't have to be anything crazy. I think what we'll do is we'll turn it on and give it a test, see what comes out the other end. Get this wakey out of the way. Okay, right, that's it plugged in. Let's crack it on. Right. Oh yeah, check this out. Okay, so you can hear the fan blowing, the hairdryer. I've got some tissue paper, which is blowing around in the wind anyway. What we're going to do is we're going to put it down here, and you see how it blows straight up? So you can definitely feel it coming through. Hopefully that'll be enough. But there's one way to find out, so let's crack on. Right, just to kick things off, we've just got a bit of pallet wood. All pallet wood, it's knackered. There we go. She's away. This is just to help get the charcoal going. I'm only hardening bolts to the tractor, so they're not massive or anything like that. I'm hoping that's enough space. If it isn't, this is just a test at the end of the day. If it isn't, we'll have to make it a bit wider. But for now, we'll just see how it performs. Wait for that to get going, and then we'll put some charcoal on. Right, the wood's well on its way, so let's add some charcoal. Let's give that a bit, and then we can put the fan on. Wow, that is mental. Look at the heat there already. Wow. I just got a pair of tongs from the fire. Just move some of this over. It's obviously really cold here. So my first conclusion is that the pipe, which I've put in the middle, as you can see, really needs to be at the end. So it's right. So while the forge is heating up, I've got an old bolt here, which is our tester. I'm just going to clamp it in the vise, and I've got my chainsaw file. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to show that file digs in. You see that? Oh yeah, look at that. It's cutting straight away. There we go. So in mild steel, the file, which is hardened, digs in. I'm not sure if you can see that, but there's a little groove I've cut in it there, look. And in theory, once it's hardened, the file should just skip off. It shouldn't be able to dig in. So that's the test. So we've done one side. We'll have a go on the other side once we've moved through the process of heating it up and hardening it. Right, let's check on the forge. Right, so you can see the halfway point is where the pipe is. This side of it is raging. This side of it is actually cold. So the pipe definitely needs to be at the beginning, so the air pushes through the whole system. Or I could drill holes in the pipe, and actually that's probably the way to go. You know, put a cap on the end, drill some holes in the pipe, nice decent bore, so that it heats the whole thing up in one go. We'll see. All these things it's an experiment, so we'll see how it works. In the meantime, we're just going to move the charcoal to that end. Ooh, that's the dust, that. Right, we're not far away. Right, that's looking pretty serious. I'm going to drop this bolt in, make a little bit of a gap. Yeah, getting the really, really orange stuff. Look at that. My hair dryer's just stopped. It's got too hot. Right, so issues. The forge is dying because the fan's not working. The fan's not working because the hairdryer's got really hot, and the pipe is also surprisingly hot. Oh, back to life. It must have a heat temperature. What I'm going to do is, I'm just going to have a bit of a rest. I bought this digital thermometer here to help with this process, and basically I just wanted to see what the temperatures were in the different phases of this process. So this goes up to 1400 Celsius. Turn it on. There we go, right, 19.1. So the galvanized pipe is 48.5 degrees, so it's pretty warm. The entrance to the pipe inside is 69 degrees. The hairdryer is 54 degrees. So, it definitely gets hot, which is an issue if it cuts out. Something to think about there. And then the forge is currently 700 degrees, 735. I don't know if you can see that or not. Can you see that? There we go, 735. So let's get the fan back on and see what the temp is. We need 850 to harden steel. The charcoal might have died. Wait for it to heat back up again. Wow, 900. Oh no, 1000, 1145. Look at that. So it's definitely going to get hot enough. Let's crack on before the fan dies and get the bolt in there. Right down there in the heart of the carnage. Cover it over. Oh, the fan's died again. Right. Ah, dear me. I think what you need to do is you get your fire going, and then when the time comes to get forging, is then to deal with the fan. So we're going to shut everything down, let the fan, the hairdryer cool right down, we'll put some more charcoal into it, it's just ticking over. Turn the fan on, we've probably got 20 minutes or so, 15 minutes, which hopefully will be enough, and then we'll see where we're at. But obviously all this needs resolving before we move on to the tractor issue, because we've got loads of forging to do, and we can't be having this cutting out for 10 minutes. Right, so I loaded up some more charcoal. The hairdryer's cooled down now. And I've also noticed it's got a cold setting, so we're going to use that instead of the hot setting. And then the bolt's still in there, so let's crack on. I'm going to set a timer as well, just to see how long the process takes. There we go. So after say 5 minutes, I'll pull the bolt out, check the temperature with my temperature gauge. If it's at 850, we know it's good to go. In the meantime, what I've got is just a beer can, and this is just sunflower oil used. We're going to fill that up, and now we're ready basically that if the bolt's at 850 plus, cherry red it needs to be, we can dunk it in the oil. Will this fit in there? Yeah. Right, we're at 3 minutes, so we're just going to see how hot the forge is. 1194. Give it another 2 minutes and we'll pull the bolt out. Right, we're at 5 minutes. Turn the fan off. That's much better on the cold setting. Right, let's see if we can find the bolt. There it is. Right, there it is. It's at 600 degrees. So it's definitely going to need a bit longer. What I'm going to do is put it somewhere where I can find it again. So it's going to be at least 10 minutes, I reckon, at least. Let's pile all this back on the top again. It eats through charcoal, this thing. I'm going to use a full bag on one bolt. So we're going to try and keep some heat in with the bricks. Turn the fan back on. It's definitely more efficient like this. You can see how insane it is in there now, look. Look at that. Now that is a forge. Super chuffed with that. Those bricks at the top definitely help to keep the heat in. Right, it's had a good while, and I'm also running out of fuel. So let's check things. There it is, look, wow. Looking cherry red. See if I can get it out for you. This bad boy ready to go. There it is, look, cherry red. Let's check the temp. 820, 800. Wow, it's nearly there. Let's pop it back in. Put some more fuel on the top and give it another 10 minutes. There she blows. Right, a few things to note. The hairdryer's on cold setting now. And it's cold, so it's not going to overheat. The pipe's still warm, but we've resolved that issue. Go and put the hairdryer on hot. Right then, let's have a look. 1,000 degrees in there. It's cherry red, 810, it's almost there. Right, I reckon we're good to go. Got my oil ready. I'm gonna come straight out and straight into the oil. As soon as it hits the air, it starts to cool down, and that's not good. It's 950 degrees in there. Right, let's go. And she goes. Whee! Move it around. Oh, let's leave it in there. Right, let's check the temperature of the oil. It's still going for it in there. Still bubbling away. The oil is at 100 degrees. Pretty warm. We'll leave that cool down and then we can test it with a file. Right, so it's cold enough to be able to touch now. So you can see, well, I assume you can see, you can just still see the groove, maybe, that I made. So we're going to go the other side. And we'll see if this knife, if this file, should I say, will cut. Let's put it towards me. It's harder than before, but it still cuts. You see what I mean? So it's still cut into it. Right, it's not hot enough. It needs to be hotter, so we need to improve the forge. Let's wait for it to cool down, have a bit of a think. I've got this bit of galvanised bar. It's got an end cap on already. So that's probably going to be the best choice for drilling some holes, I reckon. So let's get to it. Got my oil just to keep my drill bit nice and cool. I'm going to come in a little bit from the end just to give a bit of flexibility. Starting off with a little weeny one first. Right, that's about far enough, I think. That length there. So we'll just rotate it. The oil here is just to keep the tip cool so it doesn't lose its temper. Oh, you mother puss bucket. Right, not push as hard. Widen them up a little bit. There we have it. If you can have a look at that, it's almost like a machine gun barrel type effect. I reckon that's going to be more effective. The other thing I'm thinking about doing is drilling holes in this to let the air through. So let's give that a go. Right, there we go. There's some holes in that. We'll repeat that on 2 more bricks and then we're good to go. Right, just going to dig all this up. Wow, surprisingly hot. The earth is an exceptional insulator. That's the start of where the holes are. Makes sense to have it like that. Next one goes in. Right, so you can see now there's plenty of holes. Because of the way I've done the pipe underneath with the smaller holes, it should be more concentrated. So we're just going to basically just fill it in now. Last time I put them across here, but now I'm going to put them on the outside edge, just so I've got a maximum amount of forge space. Right, there we go. I'm happy with that. Let's just cover the pipe over. Okay, that's good to me. Right, let's figure out where to put the hairdryer. It's good like that. Let's get some foil. I can bury that as well. Keep it nice and tight. Good seal. Right, let's give it a test. I can feel it. It's nowhere near as powerful as it was before. Let's get the fire lit and see how it goes. To be honest, the charcoal's crap. I mean, it's tiny. That's not going to get the job done. That is what we need. I might have to go and get some high quality charcoal. For now, we'll just run with what we've got. Right, let's get the fan on. First impressions, it's not strong enough. There's obviously not enough airflow. I mean, it's starting to go, but it should be absolutely roaring, and it isn't. We'll give it a bit longer, but I think we might have to open up those holes a little bit in the pipe. I can already tell it's just not strong enough, so I'm going to remove the pipe, if I can. There we go. And I'm going to open up these holes a bit more with the drill. Right, so I've drilled out the bore, as you can probably see there. And now we're going to slip it back under and see where we're at. Right. Oh yeah, miles better. Right, cool. Yeah, look at that. Right, let's get it sealed up and have another crack. Wow, that's a noticeable difference, that. Look at that. Yeah, I'm liking that. We've got similar strength to last time. Let's give it 10 minutes and see how it's looking. Look at it now. It's well on its way. And what I'm really liking is how all the way across the forge, we've got a very equal fire. So all the charcoal is basically raging now. Before we just had the front end, which was super hot, and we had bits which were cold, or vice versa. But now what we've got is a really even heat because of the spread of those holes. So I'm pretty chuffed with that. I think I'm going to get the bolt in there soon. Right, let's see what sort of temperature we're getting. I'll just pop the oil down there. Right now, down inside there, it's about 850. So I've got another bolt, same as the last one, and we're going to get it down inside the fire. I've got no gaps in the floor. Oh, Jesus, wet. We've got no gaps in the floor where this could fall into now, so we can basically get it right down in the hot bit there, right down in the coals, and then just bury it over so it's surrounded, and then we can get these bricks on to try and trap in that heat. I think we can put the oil down to one side. Right, there we go. Looks amazing. So you can probably see through the gaps all that red, all that nice orange, should I say. plenty of airflow, which is good, but the most of the heat is kept inside, so hopefully that'll get properly hot. The pipe's looking pretty good. Cool to the touch. Happy with that. Let's give it 10-15 minutes and see where we're at. Let's test it. 1,000 degrees in there. Right, we're 10 minutes in. It's roaring. Let's have a look inside. Check the temperature. Colour looks good. 1070. 186. Let's check the bolt if I can see it. Oh yeah, it's looking good. It's right down in there. It's looking, look how cherry red it is now. Way better than before. Almost ready even. In fact, let's check the temperature of the bolts. 886. Cools down so fast. It's literally out of the fire into the oil. Is the way it's got to be. So we'll have to wait now and get it hot again. Definitely better than last time. Let's get this back on. Right, let's give it another 10 minutes and then we're going to go straight into the oil. Got the oil ready. Let's get it out and get it straight in there. Oh yeah, miles better. It was way hotter this time. That's what we want. Right, let's leave it in there. Now we can have a look and check the fire. So much better. Look how even it is. The whole thing is even. And there's no holes. You can't. Last time there was a big gap, but nothing can fall down. Uses up the charcoal super fast. I mean, you can see the whole thing is way more even. That is absolutely epic. So I'm really chuffed with how the forge is, but the proof is in the pudding. If the bolt isn't hardened, then who cares how nice it is or how well it performs? It's not doing what I want it to do. Right, sound. Let's let that cool down and then we can test it with a file. The bolts are cold enough to touch. Scale all over it. That's a good thing, I think. Let's get it in our viso. So in theory, this should just skim off the top rather than digging in like last time. I mean, it bites in, but wow, maybe it's just the wrong type of steel. I don't really know, to be honest with you. Maybe it's because it's a chainsaw file that it's just super hard. Is there any other way to tell? Let me go and see if I've got another file. Right, so I've got another file here. Right. I can feel it biting already. I thought it was just supposed to slide off, but it bites. But does it bite as well? Right, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll get a normal one for comparison, put it next to it. Right, here's one here. Let's put them side by side. I'll give them a test together. It doesn't feel like it's hardened to me, and yet I feel as though I've done everything right. Okay. So, that's the first one, the untreated one. It sounds different. You can hear the difference in the sound. That's actually better. I'm lost really. It doesn't look like it's actually hardened. How else can you tell? Is it just a file or is there another tip? Anyone got any ideas? Because I'm lost. They were both galvanized. Does that make a difference? Do you have to remove the galvanization before you put it in there? I think probably yes. Is it the wrong type of steel? Does it require another process? I don't know. Anyway, forge wise, which is the point of this video, the forge in the floor there looks to be a success. It definitely gets up to temperature, which is my main issue. Maybe it's the quenching process that I'm getting wrong. Different type of oil, maybe it's motor oil I need. I'm not really sure. That was the first attempt. Hot bluing definitely works, you know, it's got that black coating. But the file digs in too much, unless it doesn't and I'm just wrong. If anybody's got any ideas, please let me know in the comments, because I need to crack on with the tractor really, but I'm not sure. I definitely need to do some more research about how to do this properly. But anyway, for today's video, I'm totally chuffed with the forge. That's definitely going to get the job done. I'm going to go away and do a little bit more thinking before I move on to the cultivator. In the meantime, if anybody's got anything to say, please shout up and give me a bit of guidance, because I would appreciate that. Right, that's it for now. Thanks everyone. Later.